First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. And according to the Holy Scriptures, we're God's chosen people. Shalom to all the brothers out there pushing His knowledge and sincerity and truth. Shalom to the few sisters, and shalom to all the Israelite foreigners who are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And what you're looking at is a true depiction of the one ignorantly called Jesus Christ, whose real name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, the one ignorantly called God or Jehovah. And they are so-called black men, according to the scriptures. Okay? So coming back at you with another lesson. Today's lesson will be based upon Esau's blessing, which is the fatness of the earth, which I'm going to go into the part of is the fatness of the earth is relating to the oil. He controls the oil, man. So yeah, we're going to Genesis 27. When you read Genesis 27 chapter, it goes into Jacob and Esau. So who is Jacob and Esau today? So Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white race, which you know today as the Caucasians who are ruling today, which their original nationality goes back to the nation of Edom, what means red in the Hebrew, Adawam or Adawamium, which means red. They're not white. They are so-called. They're not white. They are red according to the Bible. Okay, so what they have today is what you call clean leprosy. Because back in the days when somebody got leprosy, the Lord took away their pigmentation. So that's a curse the so-called white race have on them. Leprosy means they're unclean. They're a basis of men. Okay? And Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites today, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. And Jacob and Esau comes out of the loins and out of the bowels of a so-called black man and a so-called black woman. Rebecca and Isaac. So I'm beginning to Esau's blessing, because Jacob's blessing is what we're about to receive as a nation is the kingdom of heaven, and Esau is living in his blessing right now. But Esau is going to try to get his birthright back. That's what this whole New World Order architect is about, which he's going to fail miserably. Genesis chapter 27 verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, "Hast thou one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, "Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above." So what's the fatness dealing with? All right. Now you go into that word fatness. It's mashman. All right, that's the mashman. So it says fatness, fat piece, fertile place, because Esau really goes back to the Mount Seir, which is in the Middle East, but they came out of the caves of the Caucasus Mountains because we pushed them up in the caves. All right, in the Dark Ages. So that's where the beast is at. All right, the forefront of it in America is the scarlet colored woman that rides the beast. So America, now I will say America is the forefront of their agenda, and the beast is over there in Europe, dealing with the European nations and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So Europe is not a fertile place. So the fertile place is dealing with the different parts of the world they control. All right, through agriculture, to imports and exports, through oil. All right. It says richly prepared food, so they control your supermarkets, control the farmlands, all the farmlands throughout the world. The elite banking families. It says fatness, fat pieces, oil. All right, oil. Then you go down to 2. It says fatness, stout, vigorous, fertile spots or places. All right, so it's dealing with different parts of the world. You know, over here, America, Central and South America, very fertile. Different parts of Africa that's fertile. It deals with a lot of gold, minerals, and oil. Okay? So that's the focal point of this lesson. So I'm going to deal with this one particular banking family, the Rockefellers. And I got two videos to show you. This one is dealing with the Rockefellers, and the other video is going to show you what oil is used for today. Okay? So that's a very, very, I would say, supreme a resource this man has control of. All right? So he's also polluting the earth because he's mismanaging the earth resources, man. So that's why you got to be taken out of power real soon, okay? There goes my internet.
Expectations. By Rockefeller always had high expectations. By age 12, he had saved $50, around $1,500 today. Done with high school at 16, Rockefeller went into business for himself before he turned 20. In 1863, after others had discovered oil in Pennsylvania, Rockefeller had visions for an oil business that stretched across the country. Rockefeller's success was based out of an insatiable desire for efficiency. When he finally got into the refinery business, Rockefeller owned everything from the plumbing supplies to the wood to make his own barrels. He squeezed extra dollars where he could, then used his increasing profits to grow the business to become as large as possible. By 1868, before his 30th birthday, Rockefeller's Standard Oil Company was the largest oil refiner in the world. He based Standard Oil in Cleveland because of its strategic access to two railroads and the shipping channels in Lake Erie to the north. Rockefeller also bought up nearly all the other refiners in town in a near constant effort to widen his reach. By 1879, Standard Oil produced 90% of American oil and exported 70% of that overseas. Rockefeller was only 40. But in 1911...
So the Rockefellers is under the Rothschilds. They're the elite family over here in America. The Rothschilds is at the top of the pyramid. So they want, they're all in one, man. So this is Esau blessing today. Pretty much, they have taken over the world. Came back into power in the Renaissance period through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and really stretched forth their supremacy really after World War II. Starting World War I, but after World War II, that's where Esau was at the height of his power. And the Rothschild banking family, they fund both sides of these different wars. All wars, like I said before in a previous lesson, were funded by the Rothschilds. So part of Esau blessing, is the fatness of the earth, the resources, dealing with the money system. You understand, the imports and exports, land and all that, man. So this is a top international banking family I'm showing you here, and this is how they started, how they came. It is a brief synopsis. There's a lot of videos on this family, but I just want to break it down so you can get a great understanding and on to the next one,
Standard Oil had become so big, the Supreme Court ruled it violated antitrust laws. As a result, it broke up into companies you might recognize today.
You see these different gas stations wherever you at in the United States, even over there in England, or places like that, and they control this, man. You understand what I'm saying? They control all this, man.
5 years after the breakup.
Without the oil and all that, but you've got the petrodollar. Man, these trains won't work. These planes, these cars. You see what I'm saying? So we're totally dependent on this man. The scripture said we shall go to the enemy for the want of all things, man. But that's going to be reversed in the kingdom of heaven.
September 29th, 1916, Rockefeller's net worth topped a once unthinkable number, $1 billion. That's the equivalent to $30 billion today.
Which is a damn lie. They're worth more than that, man. They're worth way more than that. You understand what I'm saying? The Rothschilds, they're like over 500 trillion or more, and this Rockefeller family, they're right underneath them. So they're like when you deal with the top main international banking families, I wrote it down in my book. You're dealing with let me pull up my book real quick. You're dealing with the Astor family, which own New York. You're dealing with DuPont family, which would control gunpowder businesses, technology for war. You're dealing with the Morgan family, which you get J.P. Morgan Chase Bank from. And they control electricity, railroad, steel, and banks. Control the world's largest gold vault. And you got the Rockefeller, which control the oil companies. Started the United Nations. They funded the United Nations. And they also started a school system as well. Then you got the Rothschilds after that, man. Rothschilds number one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you got the Rothschilds. Those are the top 5 Edomite families that's controlling shit in the world, man. That's facts. You can look these names up. I just, call.
Rockefeller used it to establish the University of Chicago and the General Education Board. The
Education Board. You got the Board of Education out of that. So are they going to really tell you, they use education as a weapon against you, man? They misinform you. Of course, you got it. They train you up to be a laborer, so you have to learn certain things in order to function and make money, to be a laborer, to be a debt slave, man. This thing is deep,
Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, among countless other contributions.
Right, medical research. The medical system is not set up to heal you, man. You understand what I'm saying? They funded all this stuff.
And decades after his death in 1937, the Rockefeller name endured. Another reminder that being born into the family of the first billionaire isn't a bad one.
Yep. David Rockefeller, CEO of Chase National Bank. So they control a lot of people out here got a Chase National Bank, J.P. Morgan and all that, and they rob you. High-ass interest rates and all that shit, man. Come on, man. In your car, in your house.
To start.
Right. So that's that. So the second video I'm gonna show you, how this.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies.
Of the automobile, oil is a fossil fuel. Crude oil is a fossil fuel. It is a result of organic matter transforming into hydrocarbons over millions of years.
Right.
Generally,
so all this stuff was already here for mankind. Going back to the book of Genesis from the Elohim, Yahweh and Elohim. And this was created for mankind, but there's a certain specific man controlling all this stuff in wickedness right now. We're going to get all this stuff back in righteousness, man. All right, because oil is part of the earth, man. You see, the earth was made for man's sake, but a wicked seed is controlling it right now, man. So when this wicked seed is taken out of power, everything is going to go back to its natural state. It's pristine state, man. You understand?
Buried in the form of a deposit, crude oil sometimes appears on the surface of the earth, which is why it has been known to man since ancient times. Around the world, oil was used as sealing material in construction and for medical purposes. But it is only in the middle of the 19th century that its consumption would explode. Europe and North America, in the midst of industrial revolution, have rapidly increasing energy requirements that are met mainly by coal. Interest in oil intensifies throughout the world. From the Russian Empire to Europe to North America, the first modern drilling location. In the United States, this causes a rush of black gold, and the country becomes the largest oil producer in the world. Initially, distilled oil replaces the burning of whale oil in lamps. It offers a better calorific value than coal and is easier to transport than gas. Oil consumption rises in the early 20th century, especially in the field of transport, with the development of the automobile, the reconversion of ship engines, and the aviation boom during World War I. Crude oil, once extracted, is distilled in a refinery to separate the hydrocarbons as needed. The lighter molecules evaporate to the top of the distillation column, where the temperature is around 20 degrees Celsius. Liquefied petroleum gases are harvested and used, among other things, in lighters and in kitchens. Between 30 and 105 degrees Celsius, gas...
With that, that's why you got to pay your gas bill and all that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Your electricity bill, which is all this stuff was made in the earth for free. So this man controlled and got you working your ass off, which is part of the curses. This was the Lord is teaching us a lesson. You understand what I'm saying? In order to get the kingdom, we got to go through this motherfucking hell. Excuse my language. But you see what's going on here? You understand? Because what? The earth was created by Yahweh Shai and Allah High, and we created all this for mankind to use for good. And look what this man is doing. You understand?
For cars is produced. Between 105 and 160 degrees Celsius, naphtha is created, used in petrochemicals in order to create plastics, synthetic textiles, drugs, and cosmetics. Between 160 and 230 degrees Celsius, kerosene is obtained for aviation. Between 230 and 425 degrees Celsius, diesel is created for cars and heating oil for domestic purposes.
Diesel. Now I'm a truck driver, and majority of the trucks use diesel. Now they have a different type of gas. They're trying to use clean energy, CNG and LNG. You know, with this like liquefy. I don't know what the fuck that is. That shit is stupid. Guess for a better environment. Esau just got to go, man. So if we didn't have this type of oil, man, nothing will be able to function in society. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of power this man has, man. It says deep in the white man's devil. You got to dig deep, man. This motherfucker got a blessing from on high. And he's in his power right now. He has to go. You understand? If this man continue to rule, we all be freaking dead, including the animals, because he be having a bunch of oil spills. This motherfucker is that negligent. And he caused all types of pollution from the oil spill and all that stuff. The animals is dying because of this stuff, because the mismanagement of this devil controlling the earth, man.
Finally, the thick, high sulfur residue is heated to about 450 degrees Celsius to form heavy fuel oil used by ships and to obtain bitumen used for road construction and roofing. Crude oil was transported in barrels with a capacity of 42 US gallons, or slightly less than 159 liters. The barrel thus became the unit for setting oil prices. More and more oil deposit discoveries are made worldwide, including in Venezuela, which becomes the second largest global producer.
Right. What happened in Venezuela? What happened in Venezuela? They went in there, they formed a coup. They totally messed up that economy. Now they got to control, man, they already in there taking that oil, man. You see? So how this man gets down?
In the Middle East, where Britain is present, Western companies seize the new market, giving a portion of their profits to the local country through royalties. During World War II, demand for oil skyrockets, and the resource becomes a major international issue. At the end of the war, the United States signs an alliance with Saudi Arabia, guaranteeing security of the country in return for privileged access to its oil. Western companies dominating oil markets contribute to nationalist movements in producing countries. In Saudi Arabia, an agreement is signed allowing the country to receive 50% of oil profits. In Iran, negotiations with the Anglo-Persian oil company fail, following which the Prime Minister nationalizes the country's oil. In response, the US and the UK secretly organize a coup to overthrow the Prime Minister. The Shah...
Right. So that's what's going on right now. Okay, hold on, sweetie. I got my daughter here, Salakia. Hold on, sweetie. Right, so that, as you can see with this video, it all links up, man. Control of the oil, natural resources of the land, man. You see that? That's why they went into Iraq. Now, what was the last place they're trying to go into? Iran. And that's World War III, man.
Of Iran remains in power and then allows the exploitation of oil in the country by a consortium of Western companies. In the USSR, the discovery of oil fields in Western Siberia pushes the country to invest in its exploitation. Plentiful and cheap oil overtakes coal to become the primary source of energy in the world. So far, its price remains below $3 a barrel. 5 major oil-producing countries decide to unite to derive more benefits. They create OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Together, they want to counter the dominance of Western companies, to increase oil prices, and to have a common policy. The organization would gradually be joined by new nations. In 1972, the United States reaches peak production and is forced to import oil to meet its increasing needs. As the United Kingdom withdraws from the Middle East, security in the region is provided by Iran and Saudi Arabia, which are armed by the West. After the Yom Kippur War between Israel and the Arab states of Egypt, Syria and Jordan, OPEC for the first time uses oil as a political weapon. An oil embargo is imposed on Israel's allies and production slows to inflate the price of oil. This is the first oil crisis which hits industrialized countries whose economies now depend on the black gold. Countries try to reduce their oil consumption and invest in alternatives such as nuclear and hydropower, or reinvest in coal. Oil companies in turn explore the world in search of new deposits. Sources at sea, called offshore sites, are discovered and exploited, particularly in the North Sea. The Soviet Union becomes the largest producer of oil in the world, while in the United States, production increases with the exploitation of Alaskan oil. In 1979, the Iranian Revolution takes place. The Shah's regime is overthrown and replaced by an Islamic republic that sets up an anti-Western policy. Oil production in the country falls, causing the second oil crisis.
So you should get the drift, man. These wars that's being fought is based upon the Earth's natural resources, man. Oil. Oil, man. Oil. So, yeah, man. So it's Esau blessing. Part of it is the fatness of the earth, which is oil, man, right there. Genesis chapter 25, verse, 39, man. So, again, some scriptures. You can finish that video on your own. And Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson. Job chapter 9, verse 24. Says the earth is given. The key word is given, man. This is Esau time to rule, but we at the end of his time. You understand what I'm saying? This is the last heathen kingdom to rule over us, the Israelites, and they are on their way out. The last leg of the Roman Empire. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, set this thing up since the beginning, man. The end has been declared since the beginning. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Because, Esau deals with iconoclasm, deals with mass deception. We are the true judges of the earth, of the universe, man. The elect of the nation of Israel. And the Lord is going to bring us back into power real soon when he sends his son back. Okay? So continue Job chapter 12, verse 6 through 10. It says, the tabernacles of robbers prosper. Let that sink in. The tabernacles of robbers prosper. The elite banking families. And they that provoke the Most High are secured. So they think they're in security because they control the earth and natural resources. They have armies. They have the CIA. They have the KGB. They got hitmen. They got these motherfuckers doing all kinds of stuff. They all up in. They have the control of door of heaven as well, where they it's satellite systems, and they got the laser beams can shoot all types of shit. This man is doing, but he's going to be destroyed, man. So the tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke the Most High are secure, and to whose hands the Most High bringeth abundantly. So the Lord is allowing these things to happen for the sake of prophecy, so he could kick his ass down off his throne by his son Yahushua and the elect men, the tabernacle of David. They're scared of that, man. They're scared of the tabernacle of David, man. Because when King David was in power, we had all the nations in subjection. You understand me? All these nations that's over us, we had them in. You got to read your Bible. All right, we were feared, man. We'll stick a spear in one of these heathens' necks, man. Chop their freaking heads off. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of air, and they shall tell thee. Let's see what it's talking about, because I believe, by this man rulership, Right, right, right. Yeah, I knew it. It said, ask now the beasts, and they shall tell thee, and the fowls of air, and they shall tell thee. Right, because it's through this man rulership and him controlling the earth, natural resources, technology, the animals are dying. You got these different oil spills polluting these different oceans and rivers and all that. You still got that fucking nuclear plant over there in freaking Japan spilling out nuclear waste. You see? So it said, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell you, even the different beasts in the zoos. I remember this one particular gorilla, he was doing sign language, talking about, I can't remember what he said, brothers was telling me about it, but I think he was saying the earth is dying. Something of that effect. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee. You see, the earth is dying. The fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee, and these fishes are dying. Dolphins are washing up, man. Oh my goodness. If you don't think this Bible is real, man, the Lord is truly not with you, man. Or speak to the earth, and they shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea, and they shall declare thee. Who know not in all these that the hand of the Lord had wrought this? You didn't. Yeah, the Lord is still in control, man. All right, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind, man. So all this going on, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is still in control, man. This is going on for prophecy's sake, man. You understand? Because all the different plant life, animal life that's dying will be brought back to life, and they're going to be in the kingdom, and the kingdom is going to be a lustrous thing, man. It's going to be like a freaking nightmare. You're like, damn, like a bad dream. You understand what I'm saying? We get in the kingdom. Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So that's what's going on right now, brothers, man, and sisters. The basis of men. I hate that, man. I hate when this happens. The basis of men is ruling right now. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is about to get us out of this shit, man. You know, for the sake of prophecy, let you know, man, stay strong out there, and Kwam Yasharallah.